Hi, so I wanted to talk a little bit actually about invention, and one of the key concepts in invention is, oddly enough, keeping things simple. Now, this is something we all think we know. It's something that we can all agree with. It's something that we know well enough from a whole range of things that things are better if you keep them simple. Now, simple doesn't mean easy. Simple actually means clear. It means be clear about what your objectives are and the steps that you need to take for the achievement of those objectives. Now, it's a curious thing, but people have this marvellous propensity for overcomplicating anything. When you read through a lot of the comments and you see the way that people are thinking, very, very often what they do is layer on complexity onto something. Now, complexity doesn't improve something. Actually, it just creates more points where something's going to fail. It creates more difficulty in actually building the thing and more chance that the thing is going to fail once you've built it. So adding layers of complexity doesn't make something better. It just makes it more complicated. Making something more complicated actually leads to more points of failure. Now, this isn't something that people don't know. We all know this. We all can say this. Yes, keep it simple. But the challenge is then actually doing that. It's like Elon Musk said, the best part is no part. The best process is no process. It really, I think, started with Lockheed. There was an engineer there who said they should be able to design an engine so that the average aircraft mechanic can actually change that engine with as few tools as possible. It's actually one of the reasons that Japanese cars and motorbikes did so well. I had a Datsun. It was turned into Nissan. It was a Datsun Cherry. And it came with two spanners in the boot. A 10mm, a 13mm, a 15mm and an 8mm. And you could disassemble the entire car with these two spanners. Absolutely incredible. You couldn't get more simple. And because it was simple and easy to maintain, of course they made massive inroads into the British car industry at the time when in a British car you needed a full set of spanners to change a wheel. There were just a huge range of different spanner sizes to actually disassemble the car. It was a nightmare. That simplicity of design, I think, is part of what helped Japanese car makers make such great inroads. Now, we do it all the time. We overcomplicate, and I see it when I see comments about layers of complexity on the simple things that we should be doing. If you keep it simple, that is, your objectives clear, remember, because not everything is easy. Simplicity is not ease. Simplicity is clarity. If you keep it simple, you can move to the end objective and then develop from there. So obviously we're working on a gasifier, and the gasifier actually is one of the most stunning simple machines that there are. They're almost guaranteed to work if you select the pipe size to fit your generator. There's just such huge lassitude and leeway in how you can approach the building of a gasifier. They're really simple to do. Now obviously it requires mechanical skills, it requires an awful lot of practice in doing certain things, but the essence of them is incredibly clear and simple. Now when we've made the gasifier, of course we're going to do something with it. We're going to do something like put in a copper pipe into the central unit so we get a combined heat power device. We could stick peltiers all over the outside if we wanted. There's a ton of things we could actually do with it. But you shouldn't plan to do those things until you've reached that objective. So it doesn't help to layer on the complexity unless you're doing it. If you've done it and you've reached an objective, you can set yourselves another objective. If you set yourself an objective that's far too complicated and far too far away, actually it becomes intimidating. You never make a start because you don't know where to start. You've got this idea of something in the future, but to get there is so complicated, you never actually take the first step. And it's another one of those things that simplicity, that is clarity, will lead you to taking the steps that you need to take in order to invent. And that's really important to do, because as they say, the hardest step is the first step. Every journey begins with that first step, and it's the hardest one to take. If you layer on complexity, you will more or less guarantee you'll never take that step. And you'll more or less guarantee that you'll hit failure. So set your objective clearly in front of you. Make that an achievable objective. Be clear, be simple, achieve it. Once you've achieved that objective, you can build on that. And of course, science is all about that. Science is all about standing on the shoulders of geniuses who went before you. We all do our studies. We all look at what went before. We all think about that and develop that. You're taking on board stuff that has been done before and building on it. And it's the same thing when you're inventing something, when you're creating something new. You take a simple idea, you create it as a simple project that's clear in its objectives, and once you've got there, you can take the next step. So sure, we're going to do something with the gasifier, we're going to build on it, of course, but not yet. Later, when we've achieved that, we can build on it. I have a couple of ideas, actually. The gasifier is just about ready to run. I'm going to try the pump and fire it up tomorrow. If we have success on it, there'll be a video on the gasifier running. Of course, I'm going to run a generator. But I also want to build a gasified-powered car. So I'm thinking about scratch building a quadricycle, welding the gasifier into the quadricycle, putting a motorcycle engine on it and seeing if we can build a car. Now, I wouldn't start that from, I'm going to build a car. I've started that by, I'm going to build a gasifier. We'll see what we can do with that gasifier, and I have other objectives in mind that I'm going to move forward to once I've had success in this area. And that's obviously me following, if you like, the practice of what I say, or rather, practicing what I preach. So keeping it simple is key to so much with invention. Like I say, it helps you make the first step. It keeps your objectives clear. Overcomplication leads to failure. Simplicity leads to success. And of course, success encourages you. Once you've got that, you set another set of objectives which are clear and simple, but build on what it is that you've already done. You don't set yourself these massive objectives ahead of you that, to be honest, you're never really going to achieve. Anyway, I thought I'd talk a little bit about that because I think keeping it simple in that sense, remember, having a clarity of what it is you want to do with objectives you can achieve, is one of the key points to so many things. It's key to invention, it's key to science, it's key to music, it's key to business, it's key to sport. If you bother to put in "keep it simple stupid" on a Google search, you will see a huge range of people all talking about this concept as it applies across the board to absolutely everything. And yet still, people overcomplicate. So, my message really, and the one thing I really want to say to you, if you want to be an inventor, keep it simple. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.